Greetings, what up? I'm Mulatto Rants with Muscle and Magicka, and you, my friend, just accepted a quest. Warning, this is an advanced quest, not recommended for the weak. So check your item level, evaluate your gear score, and don't accept unless you're ready. Wait a minute. Greetings, what up? I'm Mulatto Rants with Muscle and Magicka, and you, my friend, just accepted a quest. Well, too late. Seriously though, there's a good chance today's quest may be unnecessary for 90% of people. If you're someone who's just looking to lose a little weight or get a six-pack for the beach, then counting calories is probably enough. But if you're trying to take your physique to the next level and unlock an advanced class, such as athlete, model, or in my case, recreational bodybuilder, then it's time for us to talk about macros. Now in the last quest we talked about micronutrients, which are named such because vitamins and minerals are required in much smaller doses. Macronutrients, on the other hand, are required in much larger doses, and the main ones are protein, carbohydrate, and fat. There is a fourth macronutrient, alcohol. I don't recommend it though, it usually makes the screen all blurry. We'll start with protein, which is vital for both gaining and maintaining muscle mass. Now, a lot of the protein recommendations that float around are unnecessarily high. These were conceived from the diets of IFBB pros and Mr. Olympias who are not only genetically max level, but also have access to some very high quality strength potions. All available research indicates a range of anywhere from around 0.6 grams of protein per pound of body weight to around 1.4 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So we're just going to settle on 1 gram per pound of body weight because it's a safe number for anybody, whether they're bulking or cutting, and also it's easy to remember. So if we use Mulatto Rants as an example, that would be about 175 grams of protein. Next up is fat. There's a very prevalent misconception that dietary fat makes you fat. Now obviously if you've been completing all your quests, you know that's not the case at all. In fact, we need dietary fat for hormone regulation, preventing inflammation, and just basic overall sanity. So we're going to set our fat at a minimum of 0.4 grams per pound of body weight. Once again, for me, that would be about 70 grams of dietary fat. And finally, we have carbohydrates. Now, unlike protein and fat, carbohydrate actually isn't an essential nutrient. However, it does directly benefit training, which is the most important factor in building and maintaining muscle mass. So we're going to take the rest of our calories that aren't protein or fat and fill them up with carbs. Now we know that every gram of protein and carbohydrate takes up 4 calories, while every gram of fat takes up 9 calories. So, our Mulatto warrior has just cast the spell to figure out how many calories he should eat. Oh, and if you're wondering why a warrior's casting spells, clearly you didn't learn the spell. Also, mulattoes have high Magicka no matter which class they play. So let's say he's aiming for 3,000 calories. Now, we know his 175 grams of protein are going to take up 700 calories, and we know his 70 grams of fat are going to take up 630 calories. So we subtract both of those from his total, which is 3,000, and we're left with 1,670 calories. Divide that by 4, and our mulatto warrior gets to eat around 417 grams of carbs. Lucky son of a... Now your macros in real life are surprisingly similar to the ability or gear swap macros you might have had to write for characters in MMOs before. They're not one size fits all, and while the recommendations I've given you are a sound starting place and will probably work for a lot of people, you may find that you want to play around with them a little bit, figure out exactly what feels best for you. So if you gain some experience points, then make sure to leave me a thumbs up. And if you want to come along on the next quest, then subscribe and join my party. Until next time, Mulatto Rants, logging out.